Welcome everyone. I'm the hero, and sometimes I try. Sometimes I try to seem like I'm not that inside, but it's not like I haven't regained my soul yet completely.
It's still lost somewhere out there.
Yeah,
Maybe one day we'll find it.
but yeah, today I'm here with Pink, and W might join in later, but he is currently cryo frozen.
Crap. Is this 2 weeks in a row without him?
Maybe.
I don't remember if it was last week.
No. It was the week before. It was the week before. Yeah.
Okay, that's right. Because we were talking about Invincible last week, and I have not watched that yet, so I wouldn't be able to comment on it this week anyway.
So Pink, is anything coming out on your channel this week?
There was supposed to be. I had said I recorded the Aztec playthrough a couple weeks ago. I had to scrap that one because I had a mod installed that I was unaware of because my... here's a quick little issue I had with my computer. So the OneDrive thing that Microsoft loves, that was activated, so it kept saving all my files to OneDrive, and I didn't want that, so I had to unlink the OneDrive. And I thought unlinking the OneDrive would fix everything because, it kept getting full every day and I had to keep clearing it out. I'm like, what is all this garbage? I don't want this anyway. Let's delete it all. And so I had unlinked the account from the PC. And apparently when my computer restarted itself the next day, it reactivated the OneDrive. So it began to save and recover and do other things with all the files that I had previously deleted or gotten rid of or moved around. So I had to unlink the OneDrive again. And having not checked on any of the files, I didn't realize that all the mods that I had installed on Civ 6 had been reinstalled after I had turned them off. So I started a playthrough as the Aztecs with the key goal of showcasing the new Tlaloc. But in the mod, there's a rework that I subscribed to that moves that building from one district type to another. So the Tlaloc in the base game, it would be inside the entertainment complex, but in the reworked mod, it's a part of the encampment district, which is a military district. And I didn't want to do military anything because my whole goal was to try to be funny to myself and do a peaceful cultural victory with the Aztecs and kind of parade with a charade that the Tlaloc was the entire reason for my victory. Because it's really not a funny joke at all, but I want so badly to do it because nobody else is. And nobody's going to watch my videos anyway, so I might as well entertain myself.
Yeah.
But because this mod had been turned on, my entire plan had gone out the window, and I had to tweak the mod and do the whole playthrough over again. But now here comes another hurdle. So this morning, I went to cut out the intro and the end because when you're turning on and off OBS, you kind of have to tab over and click on that window and whatnot, and I don't want that to be part of the recording, so I wanted to kind of streamline it so it looks good. But apparently when I tabbed over, something went off with OBS, and so at the start it's recording Civ 6 just fine. But once I start my intro and tab back into Civ 6, it's capturing a black screen and nothing else. You can see my cursor, but nothing else.
Nice.
And I don't know what I did to do that, but I did it.
You might want to set up a set of hotkeys to start and stop recording.
That is a good idea. I always worry, though, that I'll forget what my hotkeys are and I'll smack them at some random point in the day and then start recording nothing.
I mean, usually I had my hotkeys for recording, and now they added it to OBS. There's a thing where you can stop recording, but it doesn't end the recording. It just stops recording, and then if you press the button again, then it resumes recording again.
Ah, that's nifty.
And so I have those set up on minus and star, whatever the fuck star is on the
Yeah,
numpad.
yeah, that's a good spot to put them.
Yeah, but usually like
Nothing broken
there are
there.
some games that use those buttons, like
Uh,
Soup. Soup has three.
Soup?
Yeah, Supreme Commander has speed up and speed down on numpad plus and minus, which means that
Oh.
which means that I can speed the game up, but I can slow it down. So you might instead of like just a single button press, you might want to make it like shift minus.
Yeah. Gotta go fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so I've had 2 Aztec recordings thus far have to be scrapped because things went terribly wrong. So I'm intending, I have today off, so I'm intending if we don't take too long recording whatever we're recording today, then I'll be starting my 3rd attempt and making sure everything goes absolutely positively correctly this time, because I'm tired of having to trash all these playthroughs, knowing that I've sat on a couch, talked to myself for an hour, thought everything went well, and it turns out, oh no, it all screwed up.
Yeah, I have something before you because I'm on my 3rd script for the Ghost of Tsushima review, and I'm gonna write a 4th. So you know.
Yeah. Yep, I know that feeling all too well. And you know how I mentioned the OneDrive had turned itself on when their computer started?
Yeah.
My OneDrive just informed me that it's out of space. It shouldn't be out of
Nice.
space because it shouldn't be active at all.
I mean,
So I'm
you
gonna
should
go
go into.
unlink this account real quick.
But don't unlink the account. Go into system settings and then just tell it to stop using OneDrive.
I don't know how to do that yet because I can tell it to stop syncing
Yeah.
for up to like a day, I think. It doesn't give me an option to just turn OneDrive off entirely. It's either stop syncing for a period of 24 hours or unlink entirely.
I see. But the unlink entirely is apparently also untrue.
Yeah, because it keeps linking back up.
I don't know.
Pause syncing. Let's pause it for 24 hours. So I won't have to deal with it for 24 hours. Let's go into settings. Settings, please. Okay, eventually. But anyway, I'm intending to restart the 3rd and final Aztec playthrough. 3rd time's a charm, as they say.
Don't say final because that's how you jinx it.
This is true. I did start a recording of Civ 5. I believe I don't remember which one it was. I think I picked Byzantium because they were bottom tier, and because I played so much Civ 6 and none of Civ 5, I thought it'd be funny to play Civ 5 as a bottom tier Civ and have no idea what I'm doing and no easy route to victory. So, assuming that one recorded properly, which I think it did, I haven't looked at it yet, but I'm pretty sure it did, because that was one of the recordings that caused issues with other recordings, but it should have turned out just fine. That should be going up sometime this week. I'll be getting back into Hades this week. I kind of left off in the middle of a playthrough on the last time for the one that didn't get recorded, or at least the visuals didn't get recorded. Down the line, I think I'm going to try to do something with the audio I captured. I'll draw the screenshots of my terrible tenure in Tartarus.
I mean, if you separately draw the backgrounds and like a couple of frames of animation, I can edit it together for you.
Oh, that'd be cool. I don't know if I can. Well, I probably can, but I think it'd take me too long to make even small animations.
Maybe.
So,
well, I'm not saying like actual proper animation. I'm saying like draw. I don't know, like the 3 keyframes.
Yeah, I could probably do that.
The storyboard style.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was intending to do. So yeah, that could work. I do want to salvage that in some way because I thought I had a lot of good stuff in there, but it's not a big loss because it was only about 90 minutes. So the thing that sucks is that I got so far in such a short amount of time because I had only gone on my 2nd or 3rd run. So that's the key reason I wanted that footage at all. But it wasn't a big loss, if I'm being completely honest. And was there anything else I recorded or have set to record? I don't think so. So that should be all I've got coming out on the channel.
All right. Well, as for me, oh yeah, the last episode of Ghost of Tsushima is coming out. It is.
Excellent.
I'm actually kind of proud of how that series turned out, not because of the contents, but because of what I cut out and how it still somewhat makes sense. Because my playthrough of Ghost of Tsushima, like I wanted it to be mostly spoiler free, and only the first and last episodes contain spoilers. Past the first hour, I suppose. The first episode is the first hour, and then the last episode is the only one that contains spoilers past it. So yeah.
Very nice.
And then that's all I have. That's all I have coming out. Sometimes I make it really hard not to notice that I'm not a native speaker. But like the thing is, like the way you freaking emphasize stuff is kind of similar in Hungarian for some of the effects. So really, I'm not showing that I'm Hungarian. I'm showing that I'm a fucking alien. But yeah, so what's coming out on the channel, on the group channel this week, is Smite Part 7. It is the one with Gilgamesh, one of them.
One of them.
Yeah. And then the other one is Terraria Part 22. Oh man. Yeah. Hype. Anyway,
How many Terrarias now?
this is the 22nd episode.
That's a lot of episodes.
Yeah. I mean that is 4 seasons though.
This is true.
You know, so sometimes I'm like, I should really get freaking back on learning guitar and actually like finish learning it, because I really want to make a freaking I actually want to make your fishing anime real. Like even if we don't make an actual anime, I really want to make an intro because it would be fun.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, and I have an outline for a song already, so hey.
Perfect.
And then yeah, so Pink, what have you done this week?
What have I done this week? Done a little bit. It was Star Wars Day a couple days ago, May the 4th. So I actually did watch Star Wars, but it was episode 1, and I had not watched episode 1 in several years. I don't think I've watched it since I've moved to Oregon, which was like 6 years ago, maybe. Something crazy like that. So it's been a significant amount of time.
By episode 1, do you mean 4 or the Phantom Menace?
The Phantom Menace.
Okay.
The one that everybody loathes.
Yeah.
And for a long time, I always felt like, it's not a good movie, but it's really not that bad. It's not terrible. It's not the worst, okay? I mean, there are very few good qualities to it, but it can't be the worst. But watching it this week, I was like, yeah, this is pretty awful. There are, if there are redeeming qualities, it's only in the presence of Ewan McGregor and Natalie Portman. The rest of that movie can jump off a barge.
Technically, you're true because Darth Maul is in the presence of Ewan McGregor, so.
Yeah.
I mean, Darth Maul's design is cool. Darth Maul, the character, doesn't exist, but you know, the design is cool.
Very, very true. This is correct. And so, I mean, good lord, I had forgotten Anakin. You know.
Yeah, mannequin.
And I remember people saying, yeah, Anakin's just flat out annoying. I wish he would have died in the first episode. And it's like, couldn't possibly be that bad. I mean, I know children suck and all, but it can't be that bad. But no, it was worse. I did not have a good time with episode 1 after all these years.
Like I don't remember a lot of episode 1 because I watched it when I was like 8, and I also don't remember a lot of episode 1 because, like even when I was 8 years old, I was like, this is boring. So
yeah,
so most of the things I remember are like I remember Jar Jar being shit. I remember Darth Maul flipping around because he was cool. I remember Watto, and that's about it. I remember this distinct feeling that I wanted Watto off of the screen. Like,
I remember that as a kid too, but that's just because he looks freaking ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what's that thing people say about how like things are probably even worse if you dislike them as a child?
Right. I mean, episode 1, it doesn't even have good villains outside of Maul, and only his design is good. But all the other side characters, they all freaking suck, or they're just annoying, and you want them off the screen.
I mean, like most of the good Sith designs, from what I remember, got relegated to the extended universe, like freaking Darth Raven.
Yeah.
And I was going to say Darth Plagueis device, but I don't actually remember what he looks like. If he ever
I
got
have
a
no
design.
idea what he looks like.
I'm gonna look it up.
I've only ever heard the tragedy.
I'm gonna get the copy pasta, and I.
Yeah, I thought.
Okay, no, Darth Plagueis. It's not great. Darth Plagueis is not great. So. Oh, that might not work. Let me search for a different. There we go. All right. Different picture. Maybe this will work. Yeah, the schnoz.
Yeah.
Like.
See, that just looks like a less wrinkly Palpatine.
I mean, I don't like it. I don't know how to put it into words. The things he makes me feel. Like his entire face is strangely proportionate in being disproportionate.
Yeah, it looks kind of like it's being stretched across multiple dimensions.
Yes, but at the same time, it makes sense. But why?
Yeah. Hang on a second.
They call
him Google.
They call him Darth Plagueis device because he put his head in a vice.
Let's see. Does this work? Let me see if it works. It probably doesn't. I need to go further, but we're gonna try it anyway.
You need to go further beyond. Yeah.
Yeah, further beyond. Oh wait, that actually worked. So that's what Plagueis there reminds me of.
Freaking.
Just a bit more contorted.
Ben Solo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They both have a serious case of long face.
I mean, I suppose, like, yeah, I can see it. Like you stretch. You stretch what's his face's head by like 5%, and then remove the hair, and you have Darth Plagueis.
Yeah, it's all connected somehow.
Yeah, he's canon. He's just the son of Han Solo now.
So yeah, I've got nothing further to say on Star Wars. I don't think Episode 1 is not good. Not even as good as I remember it being, which wasn't very good in the first place. But no, if I had the choice to go back in time and not watch it a couple days ago, I would go back in time and not watch it a couple days ago.
Yeah, that's me with most Star Wars, honestly. Like, Like I joke around about Star Wars stuff, and I don't know a lot about Star Wars stuff, but that's not because I like it. That's because the internet likes it, and that makes it so I can't not know things about it.
Yeah, there are plenty of fandoms that I have knowledge of that I have no personal experience with. Like I know a decent amount of Harry Potter stuff just because I had so many friends that were really into that. But that's witchcraft, and I wasn't allowed to like that as a kid. So
Ah, yeah.
So yeah, I had no personal interactions with Harry Potter whatsoever. Uh, is there anything else? Probably a lot of other things. Similarly, a lot of
Undertale,
animes people watched. I have knowledge of, and I've never seen.
Undertale,
And
Doki Doki Literature
under
Club.
yes, I definitely have heard and know of, and know some things about Undertale. I've never played the game. I'm never going to play the game.
I
For a long time, I didn't know it was a game.
I played through the game all 3 times that you are required to have an opinion on it.
Yeah,
Just so I can be like, hey, I gave it a chance. It sucks. And
yeah.
I
You
mean,
played it 3 times, so your opinion is very valid.
yeah, I played through all of the run types once, and then like freaking at the end of the day, like okay, I shit on Undertale a lot because I think the fandom sucks ass and always has.
Mm-hmm.
Undertale the game, like the actual video game part of Undertale, is not bad. It's closer to mediocre than it's not, but it's on the better end of mediocre. And then there's the story and the characters and the fandom, and then all of those 3 combined form freaking Satan.
Speaking of the devil,
Yes, literally.
Hey.
hey, hey.
So
Uh,
you have just woken up from cryo sleep.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, it's been a trip. It sure has.
I believe it.
So W, is anything coming out on your channel this week while you're half asleep?
You bet the fuck not.
Are you sure you haven't recorded anything this week? It seems like you should have.
Yeah, as I've been fucking slowly dying, I was like, oh man, it's time.
Big timer. And then you do a Mr. Big spin.
Yeah, that's. I don't know how far along you guys are in the podcast, but holy shit, that's pretty well the only thing I'm gonna be able to talk about for my week.
We're actually not too terribly far because
Yeah.
we didn't start for quite a while because I had computer issues. So
Oh,
you didn't miss a lot, but yeah, it'll be shorter for you.
ha. All right. So what did I walk in on?
Undertale.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
the Satan
what
comment.
you played
Yes.
this week.
No.
No.
We are talking about fandoms that we like. We are talking about things that we know stuff about to the zeitgeist, and not because we have an actual interest in.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, so Pink, you regret living because of Phantom Menace. What else?
What else? I watched probably the first 30 minutes of what is it called? The Mitchells versus Machines, which is something that I believe is a new release on Netflix, but I'm not certain. I've heard nothing but praise since the day it came out, and it kind of came out of nowhere because I didn't know of its existence until the day it came out, when Twitter kind of blew up and was like, "Oh my god, this movie is so great! Everyone and their mother needs to watch it ASAP."
Hmm.
I'm not sure why it's getting that praise. I thought it was fine. I mean, I also speaking as a person who hasn't finished it yet, but I thought from a writing perspective and an animating or a character design perspective, I thought it was fine. it was nothing that really stood out to me. I thought it had a lot of cliches going with it, but it also kind of subverts those cliches in the fact that they're actually able to create a family that, I don't know, seems to function more like an actual family than most television or cinematic families do. So it wasn't a complete retread of every type of father misunderstanding daughter type of movie that you've seen over the past 20 years. So it felt more authentic to me, but it wasn't enough to keep me around because as charming as it seems, it just didn't really grab my attention. And I had better things to do at the time.
Like watch the Phantom Menace.
Like watch the Phantom Menace and regret it.
Huh.
Okay, and outside of that, outside of that, I feel like there's something else that was sort of big on my end, but I can't remember it right now. Let me open Steam and see if I played anything on that. I played a lot of Civ 5 this week. A lot of Civ 5. I was doing a playthrough of Byzantium, and I'm recording that one, but I also was playing as the Aztec. And having fun with that because I figured because they get culture on kills, I'd be able to climb the culture branches just a little bit faster and kind of screw around with that and get all the achievements for unlocking all the sections in a single, what's it called? But that did not happen because culture is a lot harder to obtain than I thought, and I did not farm the barbarian camps properly because I would tend to accidentally step on them, and it was not a good time.
Yeah, Civ 5 barb farming is a thing you are going to want to do all the time, which is very different from Civ 6.
Yeah. So I figured, in Civ 6, you stomp out a barb camp, another one spawns 3 tiles away, it'll be fine. Nope.
Did the barbarians say yes, daddy, whenever you stepped on them?
Yes, daddy. Let's see. Where the heck is Steam? There it is.
Didn't the Civ 6 Barbarians game mode bring barbarian farming back, though?
It did. It really did. It's multiple choice, though, because you can farm the crap out of barbarian encampments. You can also just disperse them and be done with them, get that instant gold boost, or not gold boost, experience boost. Or you can let them sit for a couple of years and then they'll turn into city states. So no matter what you do, when you're farming barbarians, it's always in your favor for the most part.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that because it actually reminded me that I don't know if it was necessarily this week, but I've got something for my week, I guess.
All right. Let's open up Discord so I can see you again. Okay, there we go. So this week I kind of have hit a stopping point in modding 2K19. That I have basically everyone that was erroneously excluded from the base game for reasons unbeknownst to man.
Yes, Justin Gabriel.
Yeah, Justin Gabriel, my boy, the bunny at one point.
Yeah, like a week and then he quit.
Yeah. I've added a lot of new NXT guys that would not have made the game back then because they weren't even under contract at that point. So I've got a very nice NXT brand going. I'm very happy with it. I never figured out how to activate the slots in game that don't contain characters, the quote-unquote extra slots. So I don't know how to actually bolster the roster. So I've been not copying. So I've been pasting over the new mods on top of Legends because I'm being honest. There are very few Legends I will be using at all. It's like I don't need the Rock and Roll Express.
What do you mean you're not going to play as Brutus Beefcake?
Right, that's who I turned into Tegan Knox. Brutus Beefcake, one of the first to go. Yeah, that's a heck of a change there.
I wouldn't even replace him with anything. I'd just remove him.
Turn Brutus Beefcake into the big show with the big nasty bastard shirt.
That's probably an option. You never know with mods. So yeah, I basically tore out most of the legends that I'm not going to be using at all whatsoever, because that's free space to me. That's opportunity to make or turn. That's neither of those are the correct words. That's opportunity to gain some more roster spots, and it's good for me. Sucks on console though, because those guys are stuck there permanently. And
But hey, you get to play as Big Daddy Cool.
yeah.
I'd much rather fucking have Diesel than fucking Brutus Beefcake.
I mean, yeah. I'd much rather have neither, but you know, if I have to choose
I
between
really
the
like
two,
Kevin Nash.
if I have to choose between
Yeah.
the
I
two,
like
I'll choose
Kevin Nash too.
So, got the 2K19 done modding for now. I've hit a stopping point. I'm sure it'll resume at some point, but for now, I'm going in universe. I'm not doing any type of fantasy scenarios. I almost broke my rule of no legends because they've got a test mod. And I was like, oh man, I love me some test. But no, I'm gonna hold off on that.
I mean,
I'm wanting to keep everything modern.
You can make that canon, Pink. Just replace Tess Titantron with the "Is Tess still dead?" Twitter saying no.
And then as Tess comes out, it says the tweet that says yes. Or oh yeah, never mind. You're right. Oh fuck, I completely forgot. Fuck that up. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah, you tried to go for the same joke.
I just woke up. Okay,
Yeah.
I just woke up and I'm cramming my mouth with popcorn as we speak. That's why I keep muting myself.
You're so lucky.
You're not sharing
popcorn right now.
I have to keep muting, or else the microphone's just gonna hear me going. Oh.
You brought popcorn to the studio and you're not sharing.
What the heck?
The studio. No, fuck you guys. You didn't earn this popcorn. This popcorn is made for me, motherfuckers. Now I'm gonna eat it even more loudly.
Unbelievable. Man, I ordered a bowl of red M&Ms like an hour ago, and none of these little minions have brought it to me yet. What kind of celebrities are we? We get no respect around here.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 2 people holding up my leg. I need at least 3.
Yeah, no kidding.
One for each leg. One for each leg, and then one for what?
Look, we've already discussed how I use my dick to control the freaking analog stick on the N64 controller. I don't think we need to go into further detail.
That's why all the Smash pros had to move to Melee. If they'd have stuck with Smash 64, you'd be dominating them every time.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody's making a 64 controller like changer to the Switch, so I can't play at locals in Smash 4 or whatever Ultimate. Well, that then the what was it?
You used to be able to play that way at the locals, but they had to ban it ever since people got their dicks out around kids. Turns out that's a problem.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
Specifically with the Smash community, apparently. Weird.
I do not associate with those people. They don't represent me.
But do you represent them, Pink?
Absolutely not.
That's the existential question.
I'm not a lawyer.
True. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
What Addy's asking, Pink, is will you let the Smash community use you as a bullet shield?
Absolutely not.
Sometimes I'm like I see people being like, oh, Smash is not a fighting game, and I'm like, but then I also see then there's also the other side of the Smash community is separate from the FGC, and then also like the whole pedophilia thing. And I'm like, okay, maybe they have a point. Like it's not a good point, but maybe it's better that it's separate.
I would not categorize Smash as a fighting game, not in your typical sense.
I mean, I go with Sakurai's explanation of it's not a fighting game, it's a party game. That's what it designs it as, so I'll honor it.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's like, as much as I like to play Smash, quote unquote, competitively with no items, it is very clearly a party game. There's no reason for it in my mind to be considered competitive whatsoever. It's fine that people do it that way. It's not the way I like to do it for the most part, barring some certain exceptions. But there's a reason Melee has been the I don't know what the word is, the flagship for competitive Smash. In that game was so janky, that's really the only one that could provide competitive viability.
So what you're saying is that when I eventually get a Switch, we're not doing Fox only Final Destination.
Oh no, we'll definitely do Fox only Final Destination. That's the only way to play Smash Ultimate.
Yeah.
Nerd.
I mean, no, it's fine. It's fine because Bing goes with Fox, W goes with Falco, and I go with Wolf.
Yeah.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Look,
I don't even know who the top tiers are in Smash. Or at least
Sakurai did not put in all that work to make sure that everyone in Ultimate is viable just for everyone to play Fox. The real kicker for me is that, like, Fox isn't even thought of as the only viable guy in Melee anymore, because Marth and Ice Climbers are also thought of as viable, aren't they?
It's the memes. That's why Fox reigns still. It's the memes.
I'm sick of the fucking memes. They've gone too far. And the memes have gone too far near everywhere. With every community.
I believe it.
I mean, just watch what has already happened with Invincible. The fucking Think Mark Think meme has already gone way too far. And it was pretty amusing at first, but now it's just gone off the fucking rails.
Yeah. It was amusing for...
And people are doing it for things that are completely inappropriate.
It was amusing for the first hour. It's the second day.
Like, at first they were doing it for, like, stuff that actually made sense. And over time it's just getting worse and worse. And it's like people doing the meme for that one NPC that you'd kill on accident in Dark Souls. Like, what?
It is the flanderization.
Yeah, every meme inevitably gets into that. There's that, and, like, the other goddamn problem I have with memes is that people start to assume that memes are better than actual logical arguments. People tend to take memes as absolute truths. Memes start to replace actual well-structured jokes. Memes get more low effort with time, which sometimes can be funny, but sometimes not. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I mean, hey, if we ever actually do play Smash, I'll probably main Fernando.
So,
Fernando. Ganondorf.
Why is he called Fernando?
So it's a...
You would not play Ganondorf. I will tell you that right now.
I played Captain Falcon in 64, and I know that he's not a mirror anymore, but, like, he should be somewhat similar.
Well, he's heavy Captain Falcon, so...
yeah, I was about to... Imagine... Okay, to put it in your own words, Ganondorf is Captain Falcon swimming through piss.
Ah. I see. But it does have grabs.
You would fucking hate him.
I mean, the couple...
Imagine if Potemkin had stubbier limbs.
I mean, that's fine. I play Potemkin anyway. He has the ICPM, and Fernando has that fucking charge. That kills him.
No, the fuck he doesn't. Not anymore. It's not near as strong as it used to be.
Okay.
He has it, but it sucks.
I did not know that. But yeah, the reason I call Ganondorf Fernando is one of Vinesauce Vinny's stories where he was at a party and people were playing Smash 4, and one guy wanted to play, but he didn't go and look at the character select screen. He just shouted, I'm gonna choose Crenando," and then nobody knew who he was talking about until he actually like went over and chose Ganondorf.
Is that a? Is
Addy, you make the
Ganondorf's
strangest
name different
references.
in other languages?
No, I think what happened was the guy didn't like the guy was so far away he couldn't read Ganondorf's name.
Very interesting.
You make the strangest, most hyper-specific references, I swear.
Yes, I know. I make references to things that I enjoy, and I tend to enjoy hyper specific things like the Pope doing katas.
Like
I need
whenever
to see
I'm
that.
recording something with Mike or Soon or you guys, I try to put it through my head like, okay, what references will these guys get? Addy, you're like the opposite. You're like, what references will these guys get? Okay, avoid those ones. Do the other one.
Not always. Sometimes yes. I'll admit. Sometimes I do make references that y'all won't get on purpose.
So there's a moment of confusion. We need that in every episode of anything we do.
Yeah.
No, we don't. That's one joke that I think would get run into the ground pretty fucking quick.
It's been 3 years.
3 years. We're so old, or at least I am.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Bring me my walker.
Yeah, the two of you are old. I'm 3 years old.
I'm fucking ancient and covered in spilled popcorn. Jesus.
So, Pink.
Ideal's only like 2, so you're still a year older than him.
Yeah, true. I was eternally 2 years old though. I was going to say something very bad. Because, like, look, I don't think anybody deserves to be.
Take Johnny Carson's advice. If you have to think about a joke before you say it, don't say it.
Because I don't think anybody should. I don't think anybody deserves to be called the fetus of God. Eternal baby.
Why would
I'm
you
not
have
even
to
sure
think
what that
about
means.
that one? I don't know why you had to think about that one.
Like,
I don't think that's weird, but it's not really insulting or immoral to say. It's just weird. As a matter of fact, if I know Iodil, he would be flattered if you called him the fetus of God.
I think I saw it. But who knows? Maybe even then.
Yeah, I was about to say, do you know Iodil? I know Iodil. He is completely unpredictable. Everything is a 50-50 mix-up with him. Without fail.
He's constantly in Anji's reckless stance.
Like, either he says he loves it, or his reaction is just like, I don't get you, Addy, and that's it. And then the more explanation you give, the more confused he gets.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that.
One of these days we actually need to let...
you if it's got something. Eventually, he asks you if it's got something to do with the eventual heat death of the universe, and you kind of got to go, like, yes, Iodil, yes, it's got something to do with the eventual heat death of the universe.
One of these days we'll actually have to let him on instead of just making him freaking... making him and enter the freaking recordings. Like, is this the podcast? Is this an Orlando?
He asks. He asks sometimes, but most of the times he doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, the thing with that is that actually I do need to, like, there is a character flaw of mine that I need to work on. Is that, like, so sometimes I don't know what to reply to people, so I don't. Just flat out. Act like you ignore them. It's easier.
Yeah, I did that once, and she got really mad. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I assume there's a backstory there that you're not going to want to tell us about.
No, you're good. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah, things are not really
Me,
as
I'm perfectly
crescendo.
fine giving out as much personal information as possible. I don't fucking care.
In fact, you leave one. Just cue a beep. I'm too lazy to do it.
Casually doxes himself
Yeah.
Yeah.
for a audience of like 4 people.
Yeah, I'm probably only gonna be fucking living here for another 2 months, so it wouldn't even hurt if I did. Ideally.
Yeah, dox yourself the day you move. Come
Yeah.
get me, nerds. And nobody's at home. The house is for sale. Everyone's confused.
Yeah, just say something really controversial so the lynch mob goes and lynches the freaking the agent.
Well, I mean, our realtor actually is a pretty huge racist, so
Oh no.
yeah, that he's something. He's what he is. He has said to someone else who bought a house here, or rented. Excuse me, it's rental. He has said to someone else who has rented here that he does not rent to black people. And whenever black people try to ask him to show him rentals, he just looks for excuses and continues to make up excuses why he can't. But then, like, the very same time, he'll be showing the house to someone who isn't black.
Right. That's not good.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes
That's-
it's like sometimes I get really surprised about how racist America is. even
I mean-
It's freaking weird, dude, because sometimes we're like, all this talk of racism, it's way overblown. You know, that doesn't actually happen here. And
then
you'll
it
come
happens.
across some people who are just straight up like, yeah, you're kind of a terrible human being.
Yeah, they stepped out of the 1950s.
The thing that's weird about American racism is that the way we talk about it in politics now, we make it sound like the problem is like Ku Klux Klansmen and fucking Aryan Brotherhood motherfuckers running through the streets firing machine guns into the air.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, admittedly, this is just I guess I don't know what I'm looking for. Like, my own experiences with racism have been people who are huge bitches about it.
Yeah, people who blame one race for all of their problems.
Yeah, that's a classic. That's where a lot of Klansmen and Aryan Brotherhood guys do come from, Eddie. But yeah, which says a lot about European varieties of racism, I think. But yeah, there's a certain history there, ain't there? But excuse me. Yeah, a lot of the American varieties of racism are just avoid them, which is the most common variety I've tended to run into.
Yeah. So in South Carolina, there's a large Puerto Rican population. And the thing about that is I don't mean to stereotype, but a lot of Puerto Ricans were very criminal. So there were a lot of people either of color or not of color. They were sort of the white color. So a lot of those guys would tend to try to avoid anyone who looked Puerto Rican. And because I am a mixed race, mestizo, I tend to look Puerto Rican, according to some. And so people would tend to ignore me or try to avoid me as well. And same with decent amount of my siblings and my mom. So my mom looks Puerto Rican. I've got a couple sisters that look like they could be, just that general kind of Hispanic heritage, but not definitely something or other. So not distinguishable from anything else, but looking like you could basically be anything in that category. So some of my family members look very white, though, because, my dad is very white, so that gene tends to get passed on just a little bit.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the picture of those fraternal twins? That one parent was black and one parent was white, and it's a pair of fraternal twins where, actually one of them might have came out albino, but either which way, they came out like looking just about identical, but one was white with red hair and one was black with black hair.
I have not seen that.
Yeah, genetics are weird.
Yeah, they are. So here's the thing: I am a fraternal twin, with my twin sister, and she's the one who looks white, and I'm the one who looks like a mixed baby.
Oh,
So yeah, I can relate to that on a level.
genetics are weird.
Yeah, genetics are weird.
Man, the other weird thing about racism is like it changes a lot based on the state. Because like I grew up in Indiana, and growing up like shortly after 9/11, there was a lot of. I mean, Pink, you were there. You
Anti-Muslim
remember a lot
racism,
of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but like it wasn't so bad in Indiana because Indiana has a big Muslim population and always has. So there really wasn't much of it to go around because you went to the grocery store and you'd see, you know, a Muslim family or two out shopping for groceries. So seeing a Muslim family was pretty mundane in Indiana. So it was weird because we'd, you know, turn on the TV to some comedians and the comedians would be like, those Muslims are bombing the things, right? But then, you know, you didn't run into that in everyday life.
Right.
But, you know, there are a lot of people who were scared shitless of black people because they'd never seen a black person in their life and didn't know what the fuck was up with them.
Yeah.
A lot of racism against Hispanics in Indiana, especially because like the majority of the Hispanic population had been trucked up there from Mexico.
Well, yeah,
work
they're
in the
there to
factories.
steal your job, so of course you gotta hate them.
To work in the factories, which I thought was strange because it was always stereotyped that they took farming jobs, not factory jobs.
Yeah.
I think they'll take any job
Up
that
there in
pays.
Oregon, it's definitely farming jobs. There aren't a lot of factory jobs, at least not that I'm aware of. I've never worked one though.
Yeah. Yeah, the amount of factory jobs is certainly steadily decreasing.
Everyone's moving to China.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's not a wrong statement.
Even the machines are moving to China.
Yeah. Especially machines.
The fucking servo arm just goes up to the boss at the American factory. He puts on it grabs its little hat and puts it on the top of the servo arm and it says, "Boss, I gotta move. There's better opportunities in China, man."
Yeah.
Or at least it mimes it with its little arm as a mouth.
Yeah. Yeah, my experience with racism is weird because like
European racism is different.
Yeah, European racism is different. It's mostly, oh, your people used to steal stuff, so we don't like you. And and you know the people who are still stealing stuff don't help. Certainly.
Yeah. Nope.
That. But on the other hand, we had in my high school, my second high school, the good one, we had a boy come in from Africa who was very dark skinned, as you would imagine, and he was the most popular kid in high school. Like even though there was like most other types of races, well, okay, not most other types. There was a Muslim girl in my class who was picked on a bit because of ISIS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That sucked. But other than that, like, you know, there wasn't a whole lot of racism going around, and that black kid was the freaking the most popular kid in the school. So it's weird. Well,
if there's only one of them, then he's just exotic. But if there's more than one, suddenly it's a threat to the neighborhood. That kind of.
I don't know, because African people come here all the time to go to the local university because it's supposed to be of high quality. So, like even
that's
though
still kind of different though. That's brain drain right there.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I remember living in Indiana. There was the town Bloomington had Indiana University, and there were always, without fail, Chinese students there. And like, there wasn't much racism against Chinese folk there, I don't believe, because it was just kind of accepted. Like, oh yeah, Chinese kids, they show up, they take some classes, they fucking leave. And there was plenty of racism against the Chinese in Indiana, so it was just kind of acceptance, like they're a temporary thing.
Yeah,
right.
I see. Yeah, I don't know. All I know is that like when I was growing up, black people only existed in movies, basically. To me. And then now that I've grown up, like I'm actually seeing like people on the streets. I'm not saying that's weird. Like I'm saying that that's a change, probably for the better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Variety is the spice of life.
Yes.
Indeed.
What was I going to say?
So we came here from Smash, I think.
Yeah, you want to talk
Yeah,
about a
either way.
game and then racism.
True. That's the way to go, I guess.
That's the Smash Champion selection you get. You can have a pedophile or a racist. Your
Yeah.
choice.
Oh, Lordy.
Choose your poison.
Just spoiled for choices we are.
Freaking.
So, Pink.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Pink.
Yeah, I was muting myself to
Yeah.
eat some popcorn there, and then nothing happened.
I was going to say a joke, but I realized it was bad. So and like so bad I won't even like detail.
And now my underwear is crawling up my balls. It is very painful.
Those wounds they will not heal.
Oh, that would suck. So,
Pink.
everything is done for my week, I believe. I don't think there's any other big thing to mention. No other movies. Phantom Menace kind of sucks, so let's move on.
All right, W, go ahead so you can eat popcorn after you're done.
How about I continue to eat popcorn while you talk?
Sure.
Don't let the popcorn get cold.
I imagine my input is going to be, you say it sucks that Yakuza is going to stay an RPG series. I say, well, we got 7 games, so I'm not that mad myself. And then we repeat that for an hour.
I wasn't even going to bring it up. Like that, I'm past caring at this point. Like I'm just looking at new stuff. Like Judgment 2 looks interesting, but like I'll probably wait for that too.
Judgment 2 now featuring Addy's demanded systems.
Yes. Judgment 2, but freaking what's his face? Nagoshi, whatever his name is, the Yakuza director came to my house and asked for my input.
He used the fucking
soul. What is it? You were the sole focus group of the game.
He looted your house for documents. He decided to take a page out of old L.A. Noire and he started combing for evidence for practice for his new detective game.
Yeah, the thing with Judgment 2 for me though is that like the tailing sucked ass because it's like there's just like of all the things you could take from Assassin's Creed, why that?
Tailing missions are God's curse upon the last 3 generations of gaming.
Yes. But yeah, like I'm looking into other games. I've been looking at Biomutant because it seems interesting enough. It's THQ Nordic's freaking like create your own furry fucking open world action RPG looter schluter something.
Well, I like the sounds of that.
And like
for once, THQ Nordic is doing something that wasn't originally done by THQ.
Yeah, it's weird. This is their Nordic side coming out.
Yes. As we all know, the Nords are very well known to be furries, all of them.
Every single one of them, without fail.
I mean, you're kind of not wrong.
Low key, we don't need to explain anything else. Just low key.
And his kids.
Yes. So yeah. But as for what I've actually done, I did do some drawing. Some of it I already shared. Like I think I shared a picture.
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
AmeriCorps.
Yeah, AmeriCorps. But I also did end up finishing that thing of King Arthur and Excalibur that I was working on. It's not the thing that I wanted it to be, but I'm glad that it's done. Honestly. It ain't great, but
When
it's
I
okay.
first
Yeah?
when I first saw that, I thought that he was hanging Sonic.
I mean, we don't know what happens next. Maybe. You can tell that I'm not used to that design of Excalibur because that is canonically one, like he canonically had that beard and mustache combo in Arthurian times, but that's not how you see him for the for most of the anime. So I don't have it in the shadow.
I kind of like it, but the color contrast, it's hard to notice it, you know?
Yeah,
Though part of it is just the design for how it goes, because the beard is kind of designed in such a way that it looks like it's a shadow coming off his nose.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I did something else. Oh yeah. So I did also. I need to check if this is the right one. I think it is, judging by the colors, because in the new software I have to figure out how to freaking color with like muted colors again. I haven't done that yet. It should be obvious, but it's not somehow. All right, any day now. Fucking hell. Yeah, there we go. So I did also redraw the. Oh. Oh. Cool. Great. Well, I did redraw the Silent Hill 2 thumbnail. I can't send it though because it's too large of a file.
Ha!
And I'm not opening the freaking the drawing program just so I can export it in a smaller size as well.
That's okay.
So yeah, I did all of that. What else did I do? Well, Pink and I did play Strider 2014.
This is true.
And it went mostly successfully.
Yeah.
There were some hiccups at the start, but we did get an actual series out of it, of just one sitting. So, you know. And now we're, like, now we'll be, like, now, words! Work! Fucking hell. Anyway, so we'll be moving on to a different series at the same time. Whenever Pink will have time, I'm speedrunning that game. And I have not speedrun anything.
Speed.
Yes. I have to become Speed. Now, the thing is...
This is destiny.
the thing is, I don't know where everywhere I should check for, like, you know, the rankings and stuff like that. But from what I can tell from just doing a cursory search on speedrun.com, people don't do hard any percent runs of Strider, which would mean that I would be among the actual leaderboards if I submitted it.
All right.
I mean, I probably won't, but it would be funny. So yeah. And then what else? I think that's all I've done.
All right. So for my week, I fucking died.
And now 3 days later you've resurrected.
That's right. I'm about a month late for Easter, but hey. So, yeah.
Did my Discord cut out, or are you still trying to figure out what else?
I think your Discord cut out.
That Discord.
Discord has definitely cut out for Pink.
Yep,
there he goes. So, if that's how the vaccine is, thank fucking God I got it, because I do not want to see the disease. Holy Jesus. So I got the COVID-19 Pfizer vaccine, the second shot, precisely, which I was warned ahead of time that the second shot hurts a lot more than the first. I was also warned that the younger you are, the worse it hurts.
Oh.
Uh-huh. So yeah, that was definitely noticeable because my dad walked off the second vaccine shot with just like a bit of a headache, a little sore, a little tired a couple days after, but he was mostly fine. My mom was in similar territory, and I felt like fucking death that night. It was a horrific fever. The only time I would say I felt worse in my entire life was when I got food poisoning. And if you've ever got food poisoning, that's high fucking praise. Both you guys, either of you guys would have had to have got food poisoning, right?
I don't think I did.
Okay, well, Pink, you got food poisoning, right? You're an idiot who eats the wrong food, right?
Hey,
There, probably.
It's a pretty distinctive experience.
Maybe. I don't think I've ever gotten really bad food poisoning, though.
Oh, Pink's internet is
Am I
going
here?
nuts, isn't it?
Can
yes,
you hear
you
me?
are. Yes.
We can hear you, but you're coming through like
I've never had it bad. I've had some things where I've eaten something and I had to throw it up, but I've never. It is.
Oh god, he's reacting just now to me saying his internet's bad. Okay, Pink, we'll leave you over there until things figure themselves out over there. Okay, so the great thing is that the fever stuff was pretty much gone.
He's in a plane. he's coming over to Hungary, so he will have a. Wait, shit!
To me, it sounded like he was fighting the fucking Red Baron.
That may be the issue. Give me a sec. Cause Discord makes it so the person who joins first has the Discord now makes it so the first person's server is used for everyone. And I joined the voice call first. So both of you are connected to the Hungarian server or whatever the closest one is. So let me try and fix that and connect to the American one. America.
I think what might have been the issue was my OneDrive tried to start uploading all the files again, even though I told it to shut up for 24 hours. It has a mind of its own, and I want to kill it. And I want to kill whoever made it.
OneDrive is the actual worst. Oh, man.
Go ahead,
so, yeah.
Yeah, I've never had bad food poisoning. I've had to throw it up once or twice, maybe. But for the most part, I don't eat out like often at all. And two, I'm a sensational cook. So, I know what I'm doing in the kitchen. And so does my mom. So usually no issues there.
US East, right?
Yes.
Sure.
All right.
Where I am, and I guess it's probably the perfect middle point between you and Pink. So
yes, I mean we usually use the East Coast servers, I think.
Yeah,
this is true.
So
now it should be better.
I only got food poisoning once when I made the mistake of eating a Five Guys burger when the cook was very clearly geriatric. And it fucking sucked. I spent an entire day with food poisoning. Felt like I was dying. So, yeah. Immediately after getting a shot, felt fine. Went and ate a burger at Culver's. I don't know if any of you guys have ever had. Okay, Addie almost certainly has not had Culver's. Pink, I don't know if you've ever lived in a spot that had Culver's.
I don't believe so, because I've never heard that name before.
Okay, it's kind of a Midwestern style restaurant that provides burgers, fries, pretzel bites, cheese curds.
I like the sounds of it, but I've definitely never had it.
Yeah, it's trying to be Midwestern if they include cheese curds.
Yeah.
It's just fried balls of cheese. Eat it, fat ass. I will. And root beer. They have very, very high quality root beer. Oh my god. They used to be everywhere back in Indiana, but there's only like one here in the Carolinas. And oh my god, it felt so good to get one after that vaccine shot. And later in the day, we wound up having really cheap Chinese. And we've been having a lot of Chinese around here lately, so I wasn't feeling sweet and sour chicken, which is what I ordinarily go with, and I instead got lo mein, and it was the worst lo mein I'd ever had.
Oof.
So that night, I felt fine all day, and I was suddenly getting very exhausted. So I went to sleep, and I slept for 2 hours, and I woke up with incredible soreness all over my body, but not so much in my actual arm where I got shot. That's the crazy part. I was burning up, had the worst headache where it felt like my brain was swimming in some kind of liquid, and the liquid actually followed the laws of gravity. So if I was lying down, it felt like my brain was in intense pain at the back of my brain because I lie down on my back.
Yeah.
And if I tried to switch to any side, which ordinarily I wouldn't because laying down on any other side gives me sleep paralysis, but I tried to do what I could do, it just moved the liquid. And if I was standing up, then it kind of evened things out, so it wasn't as bad, but still, Jesus. I felt like I had to throw up the entire time, which did not help with the Chinese, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah.
And all that combined meant that I could not sleep. And between the oh fucking gods that were running through my head, one of the most recurrent thoughts in my brain was, okay, so the way to get over this is to sleep. The way to make my body heal is to sleep. But my body is sending me pain notifications effectively, constantly, that prevent me from sleeping. The human body is fucking stupid. Seriously, has no one else does everyone else, not anyone else think of that when they're sick?
Oh, no, absolutely.
Okay, I need to sleep, so stop making me feel intense pain. No, but sleep, though. You're fighting your own goddamn body those times.
Yep.
And, that night I got... It pretty well would go, I'd manage to slip in an hour of sleep, and then the pain would wake me right back up. And I'd be awake for 3 hours, and then I'd get an hour of sleep, then I'd wake up for 3 hours, and so on.
It woke you up
Until
inside.
finally I hit the real sleep, which was for 10 fucking hours, at which point I woke up at 2 in the afternoon, which is fucking late even for me. And I went, oh, geez, here we go. Now, I felt mostly fine by then. It was just a slight headache. But every day since, I have been sleeping for goddamn 12 hours a night, which is unusually long even for me.
You have reached the sleep.
I was already sleeping long enough to, internalize long-term memory. I don't need any more than that. Come on. Oh, fuck. In terms of what I actually did this week, well, that ate a day, as you can imagine, but...
Yeah.
What I actually got to do, beginning to really hit the end of schoolwork, I am thinking that if I really cram and focus this coming week, I can probably have it all done by the end of the week, at which point, once I have all that done by the end of this coming week, I really, really want to cram recording because the FOS stuff is falling behind. I have not recorded anything.
Open up the channel.
We're out, aren't we?
Yeah, look at the schedule.
Just go ahead and tell me. I'll forget to log out otherwise.
Well, I did say that Pink and I recorded Strider. So
there's 5 parts?
We have until June 2nd. But July 2nd, actually.
Weird, okay.
Yeah, 14 parts.
Damn.
Yeah.
I thought Strider was a shorter game than that.
Strider is 30 minutes if someone speedruns it properly. Strider is 3.5 hours in my hands. So... But I edited it like I did Silent Hill. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I'd still like to make some progress
Yeah.
on Terraria, and
That
it's still
means
been
like
fucking...
we should still cram recording stuff just so it's not like 2 full months of Strider.
And the thing is, like, we near always spend the summer cramming stuff to cover for the winter, the fall, winter, and spring, where all of us are suddenly too busy.
Well, the two of you are too busy, and I fall into a deep depression. So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to get back into Smite. I haven't got to see things since definitely
Gilgamesh.
before Gilgamesh.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else was there? Oh yeah, and I want to get... Obviously, I gotta get in more recordings with Mike, because he's fucking outpaced me hard on Dead by Daylight. He's got in like fucking 200 hours since I last played with him, which is... Yeah, he's me sitting at 16 hours. He's outpaced me a bit. I bought several Dead by Daylight DLCs a while ago, and I haven't got to play with any of them. So yeah. I also picked up Vermintide for him and Left 4 Dead for him. So I want to play Vermintide with him soon. I want to play Left 4 Dead with him and whoever I can get, because now I've got everyone except Goku a copy of Left 4 Dead.
And Goku owns Left 4 Dead. Goku plays Left 4 Dead. Like,
right.
By his lonesome.
Goku would have been one of the only people who listened to me when I told everyone to get it for free. And everyone except Soon and Goku just ignored me. You fucking assholes.
It's so much funnier when you have to spend money.
I know. It's fucking hilarious.
I like spending money that I don't have to. It's a joy.
Fucking great. Yeah, I love it.
I'm definitely not keeping tabs on like the freaking $200 I owe you.
Oh no. Look. Whenever you just conquer Hungary, I expect Hungary bucks back.
Yeah. I'll mint the on you bison bucks.
Yeah, the bison. Yeah, there we go. But for some reason, I'm the facial model for bison.
Yeah.
Why does bison look younger and have a beard? I don't know.
It's his new body.
Yeah. Oh man.
But the $1 bill will be Ono.
Yeah. No, make a $50 that's Ono.
No, the $50 will be 50 cents.
Yeah. All right. Guess that makes sense.
and then that 25 cent will be Chad Kroger.
The $100 bill is Ezio.
No, the $100 bill is freaking Bison.
Yeah. The $1,000 bill is Ezio. There we go.
I don't know. It wouldn't fit with the teams. Because, like, yeah, I joke about 50 Cent and Kroger, but, like, that makes sense because freaking 50 Cent and Nickelback, so. Those are puns.
All right. Now, in terms of, like, what I actually did this week, I wanted to try out Civ 6 again. I may have actually played this last week. Did I mention Civ 6 last week?
I don't know.
No.
So, one of those games I've missed out on because my schedule has been so fucking busy has been Civ 6. So, one night while I was just trying to relax, start up Civ 6, a game as, I don't even remember, Pericles maybe? With barbarians, the barbarian setting turned on where they can have more advanced stuff. It did not go down like I thought it would. For one thing, I had forgotten the Civ 6 classic thing of do not build settlers until you've built like a shit ton of warriors and slingers, because otherwise barbs will just fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is, which by the way, you can see by that, it's been so fucking long since I've got to put any time into Civ 6. I desperately miss Civ 6. Fuck. But anyways, oh my god, I'm going to play all the video games this summer. But also, because quarantine is going to be over, because quarantine's gonna be over, I'm gonna be wanting to go everywhere.
Yeah,
Fuck.
because quarantine is over. Both of you will cross the sea on your legs. For the meetup.
On my long stilts.
Yes. Both of you will become stiltmen at the same time.
My stilts that reach to the bottom of the goddamn ocean.
Yes. And then we meet.
What's shaking my leg? Would it happen to be the horrible giant angler monster at the bottom of the ocean?
That is just Cthulhu. And then we meet up in freaking in England.
I'm gonna be honest.
If I get England,
I'm gonna be honest, Pink. If I get to visit somewhere in Europe, I'm probably gonna go for somewhere more exotic than England. Because everything I hear about England makes it sound like England is slowly just turning into America.
I mean, that's just
You're
Europe.
not wrong.
That's just Europe. Like most part of Europe.
But at least I can go to a place where they speak a different language.
Come over here, you'll be rich. I guess.
Well, I mean, if we did go to Hungary, it'd almost certainly be Budapest, and I'm pretty sure foreigners are dime a dozen there.
Yeah. But hey, I mean, you can come to my city. There's like all the dilapidated, freaking abandoned factories, or like the 1300 car shops.
That's everywhere. That's everywhere outside of Asia, dude.
But that's all there is in the city. That and like the 30 million freaking like car body shops. Like if you don't want to be a mechanic in my city, tough luck. Should have been born somewhere else.
So what was I saying? Right, Civ. So yeah, some of the barb camps I burnt to the ground, but there was one that was like, you know what? I'm gonna turn this one into a city state. This one seems cool. All right, and I got the number up, and I got it to will turn into city state imminently. I was like, all right. And my bribe was about to go out that made it where the barbs ignored me. But I was like, you know what? It's going to turn into a city state imminently. I'm sure that like when the bribe turns off in 2 turns, I'll be fine. Then the bribe turned off, and it was going to turn into a city state imminently. Then all the barbarian horsemen that tribe had attacked me. And it was the barb tribe was going to turn into a city state imminently. And then they brought my main city down to 0 health and started attacking my other cities. And the barb tribe was going to turn into a city state imminently. And I bought several barb horsemen to run down the other barb horsemen with. And the barbarian tribe was going to turn into a city state imminently. And then I killed my barb horsemen on their barb horsemen and slaughtered about half of them. And then the barb tribe was going to turn into a city state imminently. And then as I finally got my own fucking hoplites out, because I was playing Greece, then the barb tribe turned into a city state.
It was imminent.
So, no the fuck it wasn't! Imminently implies it's gonna happen soon!
I mean, it happened in the next millennia.
It actually didn't! Because Civ 6 has time scaling like that, it actually didn't happen in the millennia! Oh, Christ. So they've still not figured out how to implement fucking turn estimates, huh? I should have remembered how the fucking traders are like, 3 turns. What? 3 turns? What the fuck does that mean? 3 turns to what? 3 turns!
3 turns on
definitely not 3 turns.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because it's definitely not fucking 3 turns to complete the trade route. It's definitely not 3 turns until the trader's gonna be usable again. So I should have fucking known. The Civ 6 devs have no idea how to make that kind of system work.
It's 3 turns to summon meteor.
Fuck. Oh boy. Yeah, so that was the extent of my experience, because when it actually turned into a city state, like fucking 30 turns after it said imminent, I was like, all right, fuck this, delete the save file. I'll count this as a practice run and come back later.
Yeah. I really love the new barbarian mode they introduced, but I also hate that they didn't adjust the gold scaling or inflation, we'll call it. They didn't account for that you will encounter all the barbarian camps in the ancient and classical eras. And in order to bribe them or purchase units from them or other things, incite them to attack other people for you, etc., it costs a significant amount of gold, and you would be in eras where you're not making a significant amount of gold. So I feel like that was completely overlooked to a just downright depressing and unfortunate degree. It could have been a lot better than it was.
Well, I think they're assuming that you're farming barbs and thus getting a much bigger gold income.
Probably.
Because in Civ 5, the meta straight up was everyone farm barbs, even if you're not playing a domination Civ.
It makes sense. I've learned just a little bit.
So they went off past experiences and said, okay, if we re-implement barb loot like that, then they're going to farm the barbs. It's just going to happen.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that makes sense.
You to actually play by honor rules, motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, because raising the camps gives you 50 gold, and you can raise it again in 10 turns. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. And it costs 25 gold to hire a unit, or 25 gold to bribe them to leave you alone.
Are you sure about that? Because
the number increases, the cost increases every time you do it, but yes.
Okay. It has a scale based on how many times you do it and other factors, because there have definitely been times when I've had, maybe it increases on military power as well. If you're lacking in military power, if the barbarian camp outmeasures you in military strength, maybe it costs more for protection then. Because I've definitely had games where I'll be like, hey, I've got a bunch of settlers I need to get down, and those barbarians are creeping up on me just a little bit. So let's see if we can pay them to not attack me, and it'll be 200 gold right off the bat. I'm like, sir, this is the ancient era. We're on turn 15. I have 65 gold. That is all I have.
To be fair, other AI civs may have also bribed them.
This is true. Sometimes unlikely, but it is true.
And like the AI, the AI, as soon as the AI gets money, it spends it.
Oh yeah.
Because you'll just be comparing your gold to the others, and it's like, I have 2,000 gold, and Gilgamesh has 5.
Yep.
I really needed those instant war cards, man.
Adventuring costs money, dude.
Yeah, no kidding. So the other game that I played on PC, just to give myself a refresher, was the Civ adjacent Gladius. And I forgot how much fun Gladius is. I have got to get you in on that, Pink, man. Soon already has a copy, so we've got enough for multiplayer if I get you a copy.
All right.
It is a lot of fun, especially once you get used to the way it goes. And it's been a long time since I've played Gladius, but I thought about Gladius while I wasn't playing it, and one day it occurred to me, like, the problem I had with Gladius was, like, I could never seem to keep loyalty levels of cities topped up. And it always frustrated me, because it was like, okay, well, every city that I build massively decreases the loyalty of every other city, but you don't get much loyalty from the loyalty building. So is it like just one of those things where it's like, okay, just don't build more than one city? Like that kind of thing? And then it occurred to me while I wasn't playing the game, hey, wait, this is Warhammer 40k. What the fuck do I care about what the people think of me? So I only put a couple hours into Gladius, but that time I was spamming cities like a madman. And yeah, the loyalty was shit, but it really didn't affect me. My people are unhappy, and I don't care.
Take it up with chaos.
Yeah. You gotta go in. If it's 40K, you gotta go in with that fucking Farquad mindset. Some of you will have to be sacrificed. Some of you will die, but I'm willing to make that sacrifice. And oh boy, oh man, did I forget how fucking brutal the Castellan robot barbarians are in that game. I remembered how brutal the other barbarians could be. I was well prepared, but I accidentally pissed off a Castellan robot. And then he brought a friend. And then that friend brought a friend. And to put things in perspective, the Castellan robot is pretty well a super mega death robot, but it's a barbarian. And you can run into it from turn 1.
Oh.
Now, thankfully, their AI is typically pretty passive. Unfortunately, I accidentally shot one. So it was me printing loads and loads and loads of Imperial Guardsmen, who are pretty well basic archers, I'm going to be honest, going up against 3 mega death robots.
Sounds like a good time. Did you win?
Believe it or not, yes. But I need to reemphasize, some of you will die today, but I'm willing to make that sacrifice. I drown those super mecha death robots in bodies. But when you generate enough food, you just stop caring. Go forth and die, assholes. It's great. Feels like the goddamn Eastern Front.
Born to die. World is a fuck. 1,396,000 freaking archers dead.
I'm pretty sure they print that on the back of the Guardsman Handbook. And on the PS5, I have put a substantial amount of time into, for one, the Jack and Daxter collection. I picked it up while it was on sale, partly just to show my dad, because my dad is super nostalgic for those games. They were the first games we ever got on the PS2. Well, they're actually the third games, but whatever. So it's interesting. So running it on the PS5, it's they're not running it directly on the PS5 hardware, unlike the overwhelming majority of PS4 games put on PS5. Because for the very beginning, the Jack and Daxter collection on PS4 was running on an emulator. And I don't know what specs that emulator is running under, but it's not 4K and 60 frames per second, I can tell you that. And the frame rate still kind of buckles sometimes, which is the sign of a real proper emulator, let me tell you. I will say this is still probably the best way to legally play Jack and Daxter nowadays, but it's certainly not what it could be, you know?
Yeah.
With that said, it didn't really occur to me until I was playing Jack and Daxter the other day that I was like, holy shit, one of my very first games I really got into was a collectathon. I'm not too different from everybody. Because the Jack and Daxter series changed hard, and that first one is very much a Banjo-Kazooie Super Mario 64 collectathon. I will say it's different from other collectathons, though. Because most other collectathons, it's like, just go get the Jiggies, or go get the stars. Jack and Daxter will actually tell you, like, what each precursor orb, there you go, that's what they're called, what each orb requires you to do to get it. And it'll be like, hey, go fight this boss, go do this minigame, look for the unlocked door and unlock it. And there you go. Which I think is pretty nice, because there were certainly times in Banjo-Kazooie where I was like, okay, there's one last Jiggy. Where the fuck is it? I have no idea. Another thing, the emulator also seems to run with a bit of input lag, which is a problem, because Jack and Daxter is a platformer, and input lag on platform. And it's a platformer where double jumps are a thing that happen a lot. And the double jump timing on Jack and Daxter 1 was always pretty tight. So the input lag makes that kind of difficult. And it's not like a stinky underwater kind of an input lag. Like when you're just running around, you don't even notice the input lag. It's just not until you're jumping or the hyper-specific platforming moments that you notice the input lag. So yeah, it's a regular everyday reminder. Yeah, Naughty Dog is too busy to go back to doing games that are actually fun. Okay, I dish, but I liked Last of Us 1.
I didn't.
I don't think it was... It is definitely horribly overrated, but I liked Last of Us 1. But the thing is, the kicker with Last of Us 1 that I always have to point out whenever... Because we operate in a weird community here, right? Like, in the general gaming community, Last of Us 1 is, for whatever reason, accepted as this grand classic that Last of Us 2 ruined because, oh, Daddy Joel, so perfect. What? Did you motherfuckers even play Last of Us 1? Joel's the fucking worst. He's the drizzling shits. That's the entire idea of Last of Us 1. Anyways, so within our little community, our little friend circle, though, Last of Us 1 is a byword for terrible video games. So every time that I say I like Last of Us 1, I always have to justify it with Last of Us 1 came at a time where the horror genre had pretty well entirely gotten rid of the ability to have self-defense, and it was instead all Amnesia, Slenderman, Outlast style stuff of you are unarmed, run from the monster, and hide. Which is not my style. And Last of Us 1 was the first game in a while that was not Dead Space 3 to offer the ability to actually fight back against the monster. And now that does not seem as big because Resident Evil has had its comeback, so we've got them back, you know?
Yeah, we actually got someone who knows what they're doing and is good at it.
Yeah. Yeah, true. So, why don't I start talking about Last of Us 1? Right, I was dishing on Naughty Dog. Right, so Naughty Dog went from making a pretty good platformer series to a very mediocre plot-based survival horror series, third-person shooter stealth game? Modern Western AAA games, huh?
Yeah.
Check as many boxes as you can.
Movie game.
Yeah.
You know what?
Than that,
Like, as much as I enjoyed Ghost of Tsushima, I hope that like between 2 Ghosts and 3 Ghosts, Sucker Punch will take out the time to freaking reboot Sly.
yeah, that'd be nice.
Or at least release a freaking new HD collection.
Yes. That's what I would prefer. Like, Sly is one of those ones where I think Sly 3 was a fine enough finale. Just keep recycling the tapes, you know? And Sly 4 didn't happen.
I mean, Sly 4 isn't canon because they didn't make it, so...
That's true. That is actually true. Like...
So they could do the Crash Bazooka thing and freaking make a new game and call it Sly 4. Because Crash Bandicoot 4 existed. Crash Bandicoot 4 existed before on the PS2, and I mean it still does, but not really.
Yeah. I'd like to see the balls of them just outright calling it Sly 4. Oh, you're right. It wasn't called Sly 4. It was called Thieves Through Time, wasn't it? No number.
Yeah.
So they could just call it Sly 4.
Yeah.
That works. I don't think they got the balls, the cojones, though, for it. I'd love to see them do Infamous 3 as well. That would be great, too. Oh, man. What's one that I would go with? I was about to say Ratchet and Clank is still going strong, but I mean, if there's anything that we've seen in the past few years, it's been fucking Insomniac going out of their way to remind everybody, yeah, we may be the Ratchet and Clank guys, but we can do whatever we want, you bitch-ass punks.
Yeah.
Like, 2 games at once? Why not? Look at that. They're both great. Incredible. I have to imagine that Sony executives right now are sitting around going, thank fucking God for Insomniac and Blue Point.
thank God we killed Japan. The sacrifice was worth it. There will definitely be no negative consequences down the line.
To be fair, the Sony Japan game that everyone praises is Bloodborne, where Sony Japan only did part of the work, but the majority of the work was done by FromSoft.
I mean, the Japan team hasn't released anything of really hasn't released anything interesting in a while. But that's a lot of Sony Studios, if you ask me. Like,
well, I mean, Santa Monica's been so busy with God of War for so long.
Yeah, they have God of War. We have Last of Us team. That's their name now. And then we have Sucker Punch, who will become Ghost of Tsushima team eventually. And then freaking like the Japan team was like weird AA, if even that, like, games that nobody will buy, and that's why they're gone. But you know, like they made Gravity Rush and they made something else that I forget the name of, and I've never even seen Gravity Rush. I mean, I've seen pictures of the cover of Gravity Rush, but I have no idea how it even plays.
Gravity Rush is one. What the fuck is Gravity Rush? I always see people going, "Oh, Gravity Rush, it's so great," and then they post a picture of the main chick, and that's it. It's like, what the fuck's the actual game? What is it? What's it about?
I'm gonna look it up right now. Live
like, is it
recording.
a Devil May Cry game? Because it always seems like it gets praised by the Devil May Cry crowds.
But it's Gravity and it has rushes. You see.
Yes.
I guess so. Hey, did I talk about Realm Remastered last week?
Yes,
No.
I think so. No?
Did he?
Yeah, I remember talking about the new people having the N64 poses.
Yeah. Okay. Other than that, I don't know why, but like I was just looking for something to do between school assignments, so I just dicked around and reinstalled both Mad Max and Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes on my PS5 just to dick around with them. And Mad Max is still dumb fun, but with that said, it's a big time investment of a game, and I was like, you know what? I don't have the time, and pretty soon I again will not have the time because I'll have other games to invest my time into. So sorry, Max, delete. Ground Zeroes is still fascinating. The controls are slippier than I remember. And Ground Zeroes still kind of feels like one of those games where you got to learn the layout of the level. You have to have several burner runs, and then you have your honest run at the level, you know? Which is the thing for all stealth games, but I think that both Hitman and the original Metal Gears were a lot better about it. And needless to say, Metal Gear Solid 5 had some fucking issues, boy.
The adaptive AI. And how adaptive it got.
That part's a problem, yeah. I was going to talk about also, like, the plot issues, but that's another thing for another day. Whenever Pink goes through Metal Gear Solid 5, we'll talk about it.
Okay, I have no clue what the gameplay of Gravity Rush is, because it just says action adventure video game, but the director did work on Silent Hill, so
I'm sorry?
yes. So apparently, Gravity Rush was conceived by director Keiichiro Toyama prior to his work on Silent Hill and the Siren series.
Okay, I don't recognize the name, but yeah, if he worked on Silent Hill and Siren, he's definitely one of the classic Silent Hill guys.
Yeah. And I mean, the things I see is like chicks standing on the sides of buildings.
Well, I mean, there is a lot of that in Silent Hill.
Yep. And from the one picture on Wikipedia that actually has gameplay, unlike the Google search provided, it seems like there's telekinesis involved. So yeah.
All right.
So yeah,
So-
maybe like a slightly shittier version Silent Hill, something or other.
That's exactly what I thought it was.
Yeah, I mean, couldn't you tell just by looking at the main chick?
Yeah. The very first thing I thought when I saw that chick is, man, I bet that chick has got some fucking trauma and issues.
That chick that totally murdered Maria.
That woman killed my wife by giving her tuberculosis.
What if one of the Gravity Rush bosses is actually just James Sunderland?
I'm not gonna lie, that'd be a pretty fucking easy boss fight if the game has anything nearing a functioning combat system. Like James just has out a fucking 2x4 and he's flailing with it. Like, congrats! Literally anything can beat this.
I mean, James Sunderland could actually be an interesting boss fight because he like if the game is set in Silent Hill proper, like it should. If James Sunderland is involved at that point, like freaking, it would be a two-phase boss fight where when you beat James, he turns into Pyramid Head.
I suppose so, but I've never entirely bought in on the idea of them being like. I've never bought in on the idea that underneath the pyramid it's James. You know.
I mean, I don't think that underneath the pyramid it's James, but it is like he's the manifestation of what James sees himself as. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, but pretty much everything James sees is like his mental projection, unless he's with Eddie or Angela.
Well, true.
Like, my thing is always like the painting we see of how back in the old days the executioners in Silent Hill looked like Pyramid Head, you know?
Yeah.
Because, like, my thing is I always figured Pyramid Head did come from James's ideas, but it was probably his memory of going to Silent Hill's museum with Mary once upon a time and seeing that painting and probably being like, wow, that's weird. What a strange outfit for an executioner to wear. I'm sure this won't come back to haunt me in any way.
Why are they buck naked?
Oh man, did you know that the Pyramid Head wasn't naked?
Yes. I mean, which one?
The original Silent Hill 2 Pyramid Head. I always assumed that he was bare-assed. I always thought that the apron only covered the front and he was bare-assed.
No, I
didn't.
Think... Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't know until Mike told me that I was fucking wrong and showed me. Like, I don't know if I just Berenstein Bared myself, but like, or Nelson Mandela myself, I guess. But I always remembered Pyramid Head as wearing a bare-assed apron and not being wearing anything else.
He had gloves.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. And shoes and the helmet, but shut up. All right. And the last thing I put any time in with was Demon Souls trying a magic run. So, like I said, Demon Souls very much feels like it was structured to support some runs to go down one path and some runs to go down others. So, the magic buffing area, the area that provides a lot of really good items for magic builds, way easier if you're playing magic. Because the fucking Cthulhu enemy, the Mind Flayer enemy, that is such a pain in the ass if you're playing a melee build. Way easier if you're playing a magic build. Because he has the perfect attacks to just fuck you up if you're playing the melee build. He has a uninterruptible AoE around him that knocks you back. He has a projectile that if he hits you with it, it stuns you, and then he moves in for a command grab, and so on. And if you're playing a magic build, you never get close enough to him for the AoE, and you're always at a far enough distance away that you can dodge the stun projectile. So it's way easier to beat those guys. And it's way easier to beat several of the bosses. And I tried out the melee-focused area as a mage. Oh boy, did that suck. Because the first boss of the melee-focused area, where you get a lot of the really good upgrades for your melee weapons, is the Armored Spider. And here's the thing. You fight him at the end of a long corridor. And that's it. There's no maneuverable room other than there's a gigantic fucking spider at the end of a long corridor who is spitting fireballs and web balls at you. And as
That
a
doesn't
melee
sound
build,
pleasant.
you don't really care that much. Just run up and wreck his face, okay? Whereas magic builds, it's like, all right, well, you've got no room to dodge his projectiles while you try and throw your projectiles back. Good luck, asshole.
Just crawl up his ass and do projectiles there.
You can't, because it's a corridor and he's so big he takes up the entire width of the corridor.
Crawl up his dick and do projectiles there.
That is actually... Addy, do you want to know what the armored spider's weak point is?
It's cock.
Uh-huh.
Extreme CBT.
For the melee build, that is how you beat him. You hit him there. The ranged build, the mage builds, good luck with that. He'll slap you out of the way. So yeah, you can't get around his girth. So a lot of other bosses, the advantage of the mage build is you can run around them and hit them from behind while you're far away. And there is no going around this boss. And there isn't much room to continually move away from them while also dodging their projectiles. So, good luck. I find that very interesting. And with that said, that's the extent of what I did this week. Let's go play Terraria or Smite.
All right. Alex says bye.
Oh, bye.